and it looks like a t-shirt. It's nice.
Cool. All right. You know what, Courtney, I think I'm going to give it a second, but I think we may be live. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but I think we are. Okay. It says we are streaming live. Fantastic. Hello, everyone in Wayne and WCC downtown Wayne. This is Christian Steves of Integrus Financial representing the Wayne Chamber of Commerce. Super, super, super excited today on this rainy now Thursday to be talking with Courtney Como of the Passaic County CASA. She is the Director of Community and Donor Relations. And before I give her a chance to introduce herself and tell her, have her tell us what it is she does, I do want to preface this video and this live discussion with, we're going to be talking about something really special the Wayne community can do and get involved to help children. So, hope you enjoy this live discussion, but please be on the lookout for a bunch more communications to talk about some of the things that we're going to be able to do in very to positively impact some lives. And I'm super excited to have that conversation and do that. So, but before we do get into that, I want to say welcome, Courtney, to our live discussion. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Maybe just take a minute I know there's been a lot of conversations about, when the mayor was giving a lot of his COVID updates, they were selling lawn signs and stuff like that. But maybe you can, for someone who hasn't heard of CASA, maybe you can, just introduce yourself, what you do, and give us a little bit of what CASA is.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Christian, for the opportunity to spend some time with you and the WCC community that you've built. We're delighted to be a part of it this afternoon. As you mentioned, I work for Passaic County CASA, or the Court Appointed Special Advocates. We're a nonprofit. We're located here in Wayne. Our office is on Hamburg Turnpike, not too far from where you sit, right behind Habitat Restore, if you're familiar, or behind the sheriff's office there.
Right.
And yes, we are indebted to Mayor Vergano for weeks and weeks making us a part of his updates, and allowing our sign to be part of his updates. We were really fortunate and had a ton of support in getting those lawn signs all over the community, especially in Wayne. And so
I was telling you right before the call, I went for my morning walk this morning, and I felt like I was being watched. I kept seeing them everywhere. It was great.
It's fun to drive around and see them all over lawns and businesses, and it sort of speaks to what Wayne is all about. It's a community, and that's just another thing bringing us together. So we are.
So tell us what CASA does.
Yeah. So Court Appointed Special Advocates. So we're an organization that primarily recruits, trains, and empowers individuals to serve as volunteers, to be advocates. So what does that mean? So the role of a volunteer after 36 plus hours of fairly intense training is to work as an advocate, working for the best interests of children in the Passaic County foster care or child welfare system. Children are in care because they are the victims of abuse and neglect so severe that authorities deemed it necessary for them to be removed from their family home. So,
right.
Fairly intense trauma that these children have experienced and therefore have placed them in care. So,
what age groups are we talking about?
Infant to 21.
Wow.
Week old, days old to 21, which is the age when kids can opt out, age out really.
Right. And so they're in foster care, and these advocates, are they just there to make sure things are going well for the children, or to make sure they have what they need?
As soon as the child enters the system, the family court, the judiciary, the judge on their case, most of the time will appoint a CASA an advocate to work with them. So that CASA is getting to know that child, getting to know their family, their foster family, getting to know their medical needs, their educational needs, their emotional needs, understanding what services these children may have had or may need in
Right.
order to be successful. We're responsible to the judge, to the judiciary, to the court, to make sure that we're keeping them up to date on these
Right.
kids and what they need. And you know, in some cases, we're the eyes and ears for the judge to make sure that
Sure.
he or she knows what these kids need and how to get them the services they need in order for them to be successful, right? You know,
Right.
fundamental to CASA is our belief that kids in foster care deserve every opportunity, every chance to be on a path to success as any other kid. You know,
Right.
they're in foster care through no fault of their own, and so often, you know, child welfare system is crowded, it's overcrowded, and you know, those opportunities or those services that help keep kids on a path to success can be overlooked. And so, you know, CASA is there to make sure that doesn't happen. And those advocates are the safety net in a lot of cases for these kids in foster care.
That's great. So, you know, you mentioned how you worked with the court. So
Mhm.
is CASA a government organization or is it a separate entity? Like how is CASA organized?
Yeah, that's a great question. So CASA, although sort of a mandated service by the judiciary, by the court system, we are not a government agency. We are completely separate. We are our own standalone nonprofit. So CASA is a national organization. There is a national CASA. In fact, the program was started in the 70s by a judge in Seattle who saw the need for those eyes and ears, who was sort of, you know, all over the place trying to keep tabs on the children under his jurisdiction.
Right.
He needed help doing that. And so from there, CASA, this idea of an advocate, a volunteer advocate, was born, and it has spread. There are over 900 programs across the country, but
Wow.
each of them individual in how they approach this work, on how they're funded. We are not federally funded. We're not state funded. We fund
So
ourselves.
how does that work? How do you
Our executive
there's a money
director,
tree in the back. You just pick the money off the tree, right? How does that work?
right? We go and dig up our treasure chest. Our executive director, Erica Fisher Kesslender, she's the founder of our organization here in Passaic County, and you know has made tremendous inroads through various opportunities. So we are grant funded through government grants, state and federal, through foundation grants that we apply for annually in order to keep us going. We are also funded, you know, quite a bit by individual supporters, individuals in the community who are passionate about what we do and want to contribute to our goals. Certainly by corporate and company funders. You know, a lot of that comes through the events that we run. So typically in a pre-COVID year, we would host two sort of major events, a bunch of events, but two sort of major events throughout the year. A tricky tray, as all those who live in New Jersey love to
Yeah.
participate in. So we would host a tricky tray in June, and then our annual gala over at the Preakness Country Club in October. Both of those canceled. So we are excited to say that we're sort of reimagining, rethinking what those events could look like, because the messaging and the momentum and the positivity that comes out of the work that we do still needs to be celebrated. And so
Sure.
we will find ways to make those happen. And certainly the Wayne community has been a huge support for all of these things. So, you know, whether it be individuals from the community who serve as volunteers, so many of our volunteer advocates are Wayne residents.
Wow, that's great.
Or the companies that sponsor us through our events and programs, companies across Wayne, like Wayne Subaru or March Construction or the Willowbrook Mall. The management team at the mall is tremendous in their support for CASA, and they bend over backwards to keep us front of mind. Skura legal offices, Skura, Wigfield Hires, Stevens Camerata,
That's
and Valley
cool.
Bank, all of
Yeah.
these organizations that support us, and we're so grateful for that support, and we'll continue to, you know, work on those relationships to make sure that that companies understand what we're doing, what's going on, even though it is sort of this strange COVID time, so that, you know, if
Right.
companies are interested in working with us, that we can continue to do that in meaningful ways.
Yeah, that's great. So, what are, you talked about the big events you have, but what are some of the ways that individuals kind of get involved? I know there's the advocate program. If you want to maybe talk about someone who might be interested in that, and then
Yeah.
if there's anything else that maybe that there's something else that people can do to help kind of get involved.
Absolutely. So the first step in becoming an advocate, a volunteer who serves as an advocate is not your typical, I always say, is not your typical volunteer position, right? It's not one Sunday a month through your church. I mean, this is like 10, 15 hours a month. It's dedicated training. It's, being comfortable going to court and representing your case. It's a big commitment. We also ask that once an advocate is assigned to a case, that they stick with that case for as long as it's in the system. And on average, that's about 18 months. So, but the first step to becoming an advocate is to attend an information session to learn as much as possible. And the next one, I'll put a plug, is on September the 12th. That's a Saturday.
Okay.
At 10 a.m. And it's so easy to participate because everything's on Zoom now.
Yeah.
So from your living room, you can join us for an hour and learn more. And that's all on our website, PassaiCountyCASA.org,
Okay.
to register. Individuals, companies, another big way we see support, obviously it's through funding, but also through donations of goods. So each year we run a holiday gift drive, and we're asking the community to support the kids that we serve. So when the community donates gifts to CASA, it's based on a wish list that we've procured from these kids that we work with. So it isn't random. It isn't, because everybody wants a LOL doll or whatever. It's
Right.
because, these kids that we're with have asked for these special things. And so it's really nice when the community comes out and supports in that way. This summer we ran a diaper drive for families in need who were having trouble either getting to the supermarket or finding the supplies that they needed for their infants. And then right now, our big focus is on school supplies. So
Yes.
kids are going back to school, whatever it looks like, whether it's all virtual, part virtual, part in person. Our kids are going back to school in just a couple of weeks. And the children that we work with don't always have the supplies that they need in order to go back to school with pride and confidence and dignity and on that path to success. And so we make sure that school supplies aren't the things that they're worried about. And so right now we're engaged in a school supply drive.
Yeah, and I'm super happy you mentioned that, because it's one of the big things I want to talk about today. One of the things that struck me when you and I first spoke just a few days ago was, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said normally around this time of August, you're kind of sitting on a bunch of supplies like in-house, and that right now it doesn't look that way.
No.
So, and from a personal experience, I have 3 kids in the Wayne school system, 2 in high school, one in grammar school. I don't know if it's because of COVID or what's going on. Yeah, we keep talking about what school's going to look like, but I don't think we've really thought about going back to school, because there's all this talk about virtual and being at home. It's a little bit different. My guess is, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, that children who are in these programs, these foster children, that if they might not be sitting on a lot of supplies at the house that they're in, if there's something in school, that's great. But, if they're going to be going virtually, it almost becomes more important to make sure they have a full list of supplies that they would have had maybe access to in a school. Am I wrong in saying that?
You are not wrong. You've hit the nail on the head, Christian. Absolutely. Right. Without a doubt, families aren't necessarily equipped. My family isn't equipped at the moment to support all or even part in home learning. And so, yes, right. This becomes even more critical right now.
So we're going to be launching Project Backpack, because that's the best name for it. It's Project Backpack. Courtney and I were talking, and from what it sounds like, there's around 180 backpacks filled with supplies that are needed. So we're going to be compiling that list. We're going to be having a call to action for the Wayne community to help participate in getting these completed backpacks in the hands of CASA within about, hopefully by the end of next week, the beginning of the week after. So next week is going to be Project Backpack for the Wayne community.
So
Where,
awesome.
yeah, we are going to shout about this from the rooftops, and I'm hoping we get you a couple backpacks, and I'm hoping we get you a ton of backpacks that are completed and that can help you guys on on your drive here, and anything that we can do to help you. We're super excited to do so. I have some more information to get from Courtney to help organize that, and put a little bit of parameters around what exactly is needed and how we're going to go about and do this. But over the next day or two, expect further communications from from our group here, and maybe directly from Courtney on what that's going to look like as we get the community involved in Project Backpack.
That's amazing, Christian. I mean, whatever information or encouragement the office or the organization or myself can provide, we are happy to do it. I mean, it's so cloudy right now in
Right.
thinking about the next couple of weeks and what it's going to look like for kids. Even kids who are going to be virtual. For a lot of our kids, that means kind of nothing because they don't have the laptop that they
Right.
that
No, that's
that
important.
connection, right? And let alone the school supplies. So it is our main focus right now at CASA is that educational advocacy piece, really trying to understand what this fall is going to mean for these kids that are already sort of at a disadvantage. So we're really grateful to have your support, to have WCC support in whatever way we can get it. Thank you.
It definitely. I can't imagine someone not thinking about a young child, sitting there not having the supplies they need to get an education. Or I know you guys have a link with other supplies that are needed as well. You have an Amazon wish list.
Yep.
As we progress with this, I think it makes sense for us to kind of shout about the rooftops about all that information as well. So in addition to the backpacks, all the other things that you guys are looking for, because maybe there's someone out there who's listening who has means to help, or maybe knows someone who has the means to help. And as long as we get the information in front of their face, then hopefully maybe we can help make a connection for you guys.
It's amazing. Thank you so much, Christian.
Yeah, no, thank you for all you guys are doing.
Your energy is terrific. And
So is yours.
And again, the Wayne community has been such a big support for CASA, and we're delighted to have had so many open doors and look forward to working with anyone and everyone who wants to be a part of what we're doing.
That's great. No, I'm super excited to be a part of it, and I had a few conversations before this this call we're doing here, and I know others are really interested in helping as well. So I hope it becomes something really special for you guys. I really do.
Thank you.
I think we covered a lot there. Is there anything else about CASA that you might want to share, or anything else that's happening? Did we mostly cover everything, or?
There's so much happening. I would say stay tuned as we like I said, reimagine our annual events, because they're not dead. They're just gonna look different.
Right.
So we hope to continue to engage those who've been excited about those in the past, and perhaps get some new energy along the way. Likely virtual events will happen, which means more people can tune in from the comfort of their living rooms. And so stay tuned for more info as we work out the details of what those events will look like. But we're really excited to put that out there and get more involvement.
Yeah, good. And we're happy to share any information that you have through
Thank you.
our group, and help get out to the other groups as well. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Courtney. This was a really great conversation. I look forward to seeing what the next week and a half, 2 weeks are going to look like, and hopefully we can really help you guys out.
Thanks, Christian. Thank you so
All
much
right.
to everyone.
Yep. Thank you very much. We'll see everyone soon. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye now.